Hello and welcome back to IXL tutorials. This is Mr. Duffick, and today we are doing IXL P6, which is dealing with perimeters between similar figures. Okay, so if you know about similar figures already, then this is going to be pretty easy for you. It's just a little extension on top of the concept of proportional sides and stuff like that. So all you're going to see here for these problems is a series of two similar figures. And they're going to give you some information about the sides of one and maybe the other, and then the perimeter of one of the shapes. And your goal is usually to find the perimeter of the other shape. So, for instance, this problem right here, we have a large square and a smaller square right here. And we know it's a square for sure because it says square down here. So we know all the sides are going to be the same. Okay, so on the right side, it says the perimeter is 4, which makes sense because each side is going to be 1 millimeter, right? So 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 4. And so now it wants us to find the perimeter of the second shape, all right? So we'll go 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, which is 8. And you can figure that out either by 1, knowing this is a square and all 4 sides are going to be 2, so you can add them together. But as you'll see as we get into problems with higher smart scores, they'll kind of want you to use the fact they're similar, right? I'll show you what I mean. Okay, this is a good one. So we have two shapes. We have the very, very small rectangle here with a base of 2 inches and a rectangle right here with a base of 9. And it gives us the perimeter of the first rectangle is 22 inches all around, and then it wants us to find the perimeter of the second. Okay. So how we're going to solve this problem is we're going to write out basically a formula. So we know that the perimeter of all 4 of these sides, or if you add up all 4 of these sides, you're going to get 22. And it's also a rectangle, meaning that the opposite sides have to be the same length. So if our base down here is 2, that means the upper base up here is also going to be 2. And that means the sides, the left and the right side there, are also going to be the same, whatever number that is. And so we can just make up an arbitrary variable. We'll do like x. So we know both sides have to equal x because both sides have to equal the same thing, right? They have to be the same. So we'll just make up a variable. We'll do x. And we know 2 plus x plus 2 plus x has to equal 22. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to do 2 plus x plus 2 plus x equals 22. And then we're just going to combine like terms to get x by itself, and we'll know some of these side lengths here. So 2 plus 2 is 4, x plus x is 2x, and then equals 22. We'll get rid of the 4 on this side by subtracting it to both sides. 4 minus 4 is 0. We're left with 2x equals 22 minus 4 is 18. All right, we'll divide both sides by 2 to get x by itself. So x equals 9. Meaning each of these sides is going to be 9. 9 and 9, right? 2 plus 9 plus 2 plus 9 equals 22. So we're in the clear there. Okay, so now if we wanted to find the perimeter of this shape right here, let's create a proportion ratio to figure out what the lengths of the sides here, because we know the base is 9 and therefore the base up here is also 9. But we don't quite know what the sides are yet. So what we're going to do is we'll do a proportion ratio. We'll do the top divided by the side, right? So we'll go 2 over 9. So 2 over 9 of the left shape. And then the top divided by the base of the right shape. So that's going to be 9 divided by, and we'll do y for this one. Again, we'll make up a variable, insert a variable in there. Okay, so 2 times y is going to be 2y equals 9 times 9 is 81. So we divide both sides by 2. And we end up with 40.5. So that means each side is going to be 40.5. 40.5. Okay. And now what's the perimeter of the shape? Well, it's going to be 40.5 plus 40.5 plus 9 plus 9. And so if we do that down here, We'll go 40 plus 5, or 0.5 plus 40.5, which we know is 81 because we divided that by 2 earlier, plus 9 plus 9. Okay, so 81 plus 18. So 81 plus 18 is going to be 99, and that's going to be our perimeter. We just added all 4 sides together. So our perimeter is going to be 99 right there. So we'll go back, do 99, and there we go. Okay. Let's see, this problem, we have 2 triangles. You could do proportion ratios with the sides, or you can do proportion ratios with the sides and the perimeters overall. Okay? Meaning we can do our base over our perimeter instead of equal to the base of the larger one over the perimeter of the larger one. So we don't actually have to do it with just sides. So we'll go 2 feet over our perimeter of 14 feet, and that is going to relate to the other triangle with the base of 5 feet over our mystery perimeter 2. And then from here, we'll just cross multiply. Okay, so 2 times P2 equals 5 times 4, or 14 times 5, which is going to be 70. Okay, to get 2, or P2 by itself, we'll divide both sides by 2. So we're left with P2 equals 35. Okay, so our perimeter is going to be 35. Very good. Okay. Same kind of problem here. These are 2 pentagons, right? They're shapes with 5 equal sides. And you can see that here because one side is 4 and the perimeter is 20. So 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, that's going to equal 20. So you go to our left shape over here and it says 1 centimeter for the length of one side. So that means all of them are going to be 1. So if we want the perimeter, we go 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, which is just 5. Okay, so once you get to problems past 36, smart score of 36, they're going to start asking you to complete problems in the form of ratios, and specifically ratios with a whole number separated by a colon and another whole number. So like this, the 2 to 3 ratio. So all this means is you're going to compare left to right. You're going to go 1, the unit of 1, it will compare to the unit of 5, so 1 to 5 ratio, just like that. So for every 1 unit we have here, there are 5 on this side right here. For every length of 1, we have a length of 5. So 1 to 5 ratio. Because again, the shapes are similar. Okay. What is the ratio here? Again, left to right, so we'll go 2 colon 5 is a 2 to 5 ratio. For every 2 units we have here, we have 5 over here. Okay. Left to right, so we'll do 2 to 8 ratio, except when you can simplify the answers, you have to. So we have a 2 to 8 ratio here, but we can simplify that by cutting each in half, right? So 2 to 8 ratio becomes a 1 to 4 ratio. And that's going to be correct. Okay, here we have a 6 to 7 ratio, side to side, 6 to 7. You could think of it as like 6 over 7. 5 to 22 ratio. Okay, submit. All right, and okay. So then once you get high enough to 87, they're going to give you the ratio and they're going to ask you to find the missing side here. So it says the ratio of the hexagon's perimeter is 3 to 5. So 3 to 5, what is z? Well, it's going to be 5, right? Okay. See, 20 to 90. All right. And we get to 94. And the same deal here. The ratio is 2 to 3. What is going to be n? Okay, so this is 2 to 3 ratio. And the second number, the number or the shape on the right side is going to be 6. That's just, that means we basically simplified it by 2, right? And so if it's a 2 to 3 ratio and our right shape is 6, that means our left shape is going to be 4. 2 to 3 ratio is the same thing as 4 over 6, right? 2 over 3, the same as 4 over 6. You can think of them as fractions. A fraction is a ratio. So we'll go 4 over 6.